You told us in our survey that education is your second highest priority when casting your ballot this fall. With proposals from the candidates and several TV ads, this is one issue voters and campaigns agree is important. If there's one thing we've seen in state politics, Kentucky teachers make their voices heard.
What do we want? What do we want?
It's one reason both candidates have made education a focus during the campaign.
Andy Beshear wants to talk education.
This is a $1.1 billion investment.
Governor Andy Beshear's Education First budget proposal includes money to pay for universal pre-K for all 4-year-olds, fully funding student transportation, and an 11% across-the-board raise for public school personnel.
Each of my years as governor, we have proposed a robust budget, significant funding for public education. And while the General Assembly has done some, they have not nearly gone far enough.
Despite Governor Beshear's previous proposals, the Republican-led General Assembly has largely made its own education policies.
In advance of announcing this policy and proposal today, I did what a leader should do. I reached out to members of our legislature to get their buy-in, to get their interest, to get their attention.
Daniel Cameron's plan would develop a 16-week math and reading tutoring program for students who have fallen behind, crack down on classroom discipline and chronic absences, and increase the base starting rate for new teachers by about 9%. Fact-checking teacher pay. According to the National Education Association, the average teacher starting salary in Kentucky was just over $38,000 in 2021-22. That's 44th in the nation. Cameron's proposal would increase the base starting rate to $41,500. Beshear's would raise it to about $42,200. NEA statistics show both proposals would move Kentucky roughly to the middle of the pack if other states don't make similar changes.
In national assessments since 2019, we have declined in every single tested category.
Fact check. Test scores have indeed fallen during Beshear's administration, as Cameron claims, particularly from 2019 to 2022. But national assessments also show they were in decline before he took office. According to the nation's report card, math and reading scores for Kentucky 4th graders peaked in 2015 and for 8th graders in 2011 and 2013, respectively. Now let's talk about school choice, as Governor Beshear has vetoed bills on charter schools and private school-related tax credits.
Do you support charter schools and also private school vouchers, yes or no? And we'll start with candidate Daniel Cameron.
Yes.
Cameron's education proposals don't specifically mention school choice, and he hasn't talked about it much on the campaign trail. But as Attorney General, he defended a 2021 law regarding tax credits for donations that support private school tuition. Advocates have pledged to put a school choice constitutional amendment on the ballot as a priority for the 2024 legislative session. One final note here. During the primary, Cameron's education framework vowed to end the teaching of critical race theory. Fact check. The Kentucky Department of Education testified 2 years ago before lawmakers it was not aware of any districts or teachers specifically teaching critical race theory, and neither CRT nor terms associated with the theory appear in our state standards. You can find all of our Campaign 2023 fact checks right now on the WKYT News app.